In Sand Kingdom, there is a capture warp strat predominantly known as Dram strat, or Sand Dram when defining this specific kind of Dram strat. This strat has a few different iterations and use cases, depending on both skill level and or category. Today, I'm going to be taking you through them one by one, comparing them, and giving some tips and tricks along the way. First up, let's start with your options for any percent. You have two different options for any percent when doing Dram movement. You have your normal Dram movement, and you have single bill. Let's take a look at both options side by side, and then compare them to not doing Dram. Okay, so right off the bat, what you're going to see is that they look pretty similar, obviously because the movement's basically the same. You're going to see me mess up the clip on the left right at the beginning. It's not going to make a difference because I still make the cycle perfectly fine, but as you're starting to see, the single bill is edging quite a lot ahead. This is where it just kind of like steamrolls all the time save that it has, and you'll see that the single bill had a little bit of a mishap to equal it all out. So now we're comparing all three, throwing in no Dram as well. So you're going to see no Dram look like it's blistering ahead. Go figure. Straight away it's going to lose all of that time that doing Dram saves. And then the other two clips are just going to do basically what they did before, but you're going to see quite a funny like cascading ladder of the bottom clip, then the right clip, and then the left clip, all just kind of doing the same thing, all in conjunction with each other, just bing bang bong. All of my clips aren't perfect, so there are some little mistakes here and there, but they're all just kind of minor, and they all kind of just end up equaling how much time, you know, the other one saves and that one loses kind of thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter all too much. Now that we know the difference between the two, let's learn how to do them. So after grabbing the moon up on the pillars, spin pound and roll towards the wall. Do a triple jump and land on top of it. Backflip, cap dive forward, and neutral bounce on Cappy. Then cap throw and dive onto the platform above. Simply roll without boosting until you're at the edge, and then long jump forward. This next piece has different instructions depending on what you find most comfortable. I personally up throw in a way that shifts Mario's direction instantly to the right, but I know others, such as Dangers, simply up throw and then move Mario in midair. I'll explain how I go about doing it, and if you feel it's not for you, you'll have to search up other examples and go from there. So during the long jump, I try and position myself far enough away from the wall so when I up throw, Cappy doesn't interact with it and ruin the whole thing, while simultaneously trying to go far enough forward while also dropping low enough. Distance-wise, I suppose I try and line myself up with where the bullet bill begins to turn. I don't really go off any visual cues. For me, it's all feeling. I've kind of been doing it long enough, but that's a good place to start if you're looking for a visual cue. As for distance away from the wall, I guess I try and go far enough away that you could fit another Mario between me and the wall. Once again, I kind of just know it's instinctual for me. As for height, this is a bit harder to explain as there isn't really any solid visual cues that you can use, as the camera angle makes it hard to line up with anything. Getting a feel for how far an up throw will travel and applying that for yourself is probably the best advice I can give you, and will help you the most in the long run. Once you're in the right position, hold directly right on your analog stick and input an up throw. This is kind of why I make sure to go a little bit extra to the left, because sometimes if the up throw doesn't come out, you know, instantly and you're holding right to move Mario, this is gonna once again interact with the wall, which is not what you want. Once the up throw comes out, immediately hold Y and continue moving closer to the alcove moon while staying off the wall. If you even slightly slide along the wall, it can completely kill your horizontal momentum and make you miss your Dram window. And once you've fallen far enough that you won't hit your head on the wall, dive towards the alcove moon, dive again, and just before touching the moon, input a motion control so that Cappy homes in towards the bullet bill. If you are fast enough and place Cappy in the correct position, you'll warp up and have successfully done Dram. To then continue on and do the Dram strat, break open the box, and then straight away head over to the edge of the platform and wait. When you hear the bullet bill shoot out, long jump forward, wait as long as possible, throw Cappy backwards, dive forward, and wait until you're just in front of the moon, then input a motion control to both roll boost and home Cappy in on the bullet bill. After collecting the moon, you should warp back to the bullet bill. The setup for the single bill strat is a little different. Once you warp back to the bill, I like to do this little sweep, starting the analog stick towards the right, then while I'm capturing the bill, sweeping to the left. This helps ensure that Mario doesn't jump on top of the bill as you uncapture it. Then dive on top of the boxes. I know this is easier said than done, but for a spin pound, and spin pound in the middle of the two boxes to break them both, making sure to hold right on the analog stick to make sure you're facing the right direction after the moon spawns and you need to spin pound. After the moon spawns, spam the roll button. While rolling, you can adjust your camera to make seeing the bullet bill's position a little easier, then jump towards the moon. You can do a little vector here if you're comfortable with that to get a little more distance, but it isn't required and can be done without it. Dive onto the platform towards the moon so you don't have to reposition yourself and can just roll boost into it. Once you've grabbed the moon, buffer a spin pound and spin pound towards the bill. What you do after this depends on where the bill ends up. You'll either have to throw out Cappy and delay your motion control to capture it, or you can just spin through. Either can work as long as you were fast enough up until now. Then just make sure to do the fast bullet bill trick by holding Y, shaking, letting go of Y, and continuing to shake. If done correctly, you've now gotten the moon on the pillar. Now, for World Peace, things are a little bit different. Because we don't grab the box moon and instead immediately head for the checkpoint, Ice Dram is technically the fastest dram method for World Peace. Let's compare them. So you're not going to see any massive differences here between normal dram and Ice Dram. The stated time save of Ice Dram is only half a second. My clip ends up saving about a second, but I think that's just because of some movement differences here in the flag. But as you see, Ice Dram just edges out ahead just a little bit. While I would love to make a tutorial section for Ice Dram specifically, I don't personally feel comfortable trying to add my own personal commentary, as to be completely honest, I don't really know what makes Ice Dram tick. While I can get it somewhat consistently, it still feels like a roll of the dice for me, and I don't really know how to make it always work. So instead of giving you guys false information, I'm just going to tell you that you should potentially look for other avenues of information on that strat specifically. So that's all I've got in regards to Dram strat. I hope this has been somewhat helpful. If there's anything I forgot, be sure to leave a comment down below, and I'm sure you'll help someone yourself. If you want to see me make these videos, head on over to twitch.tv/Tomshi with 3 eyes. I actually made this video live on stream, so who knows, maybe you'll catch the next one. See you guys.